Hey guys, Mr. Milton here. Today we're going to talk about graphing exponential functions. At the end of this video, you should be able to graph an exponential function by either making a table of values or accurately using and understanding the shortcut. Okay, so we've got to remember how we looked at functions last semester when we graphed a function like y equals x squared minus 5. Remember that what we did was we made a table of values. And then we plotted the points. So our table of values might look something like this. And we had independent x's, independent y's, and we got to choose whatever we wanted for the x's. But we typically stayed with numbers, small numbers, manageable, some positive, some negative. And then we used our calculators or other things. And we plugged in our values, so we have something like negative 2 squared minus 5, negative 1. And we did the same thing, negative 1 squared minus 5, negative 4. 0 minus 5, negative 5, 1 minus 5, negative 4, negative 1. Alright, cool. Guess we should go through that a little bit to make sure. Yep. Alright. So we plugged it into the calculator, got that done, made our table of values, and from there then we plotted the points. So remember that all of these are coordinates or locations on our coordinate plane. So 0, negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point here. 1, negative 4, point here. 2, negative 1, point here. Here, and here. And so here is our parabola that we looked at last semester as we were dealing with exponential functions. Oh, not exponential functions, sorry. Quadratic functions. Okay. Alright, so we do the same thing with exponential functions, and I'll show you a shortcut later in the notes, but you must understand why the shortcut works before you use it. Okay? A table of values will always work though. So yes, there will be a shortcut, but understand that unless you understand why the shortcut works, it's best to do what you understand. So here we have y equals 4 times 2 to the x. Again, notice that the x is the exponent, which makes it an exponential function. So we make our table of values. Ooh, kind of crooked. I'm going to use the values negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay. Again, I can do the same thing here where I have a function to the, and I'm going to plug in values and just change it. So when I have 4 times 2 to the negative 2, that's my x value, that gives me 1. 4 times 2 to the negative 1 gives me 2. 4 times 2 to the 0, I don't need to plug this in because I was paying attention all chapter and I know that this is going to be 1. 2 to the 1 is 1, times 4 is 4. Okay, plug that in. It's 1, that's 8. And then I do the same thing here. That's 2, 16. Okay, and so I can plot these points negative 2, 1, negative 1, 2, 0, 4, 1, 8, and then 2 16s off the graph, but I can see that it will continue up there, and so my, oh no, loosen up my grip. Okay, I would go something like that. Okay, alright. Alright, and we can do the same thing for number 2, making a table of values. Make it on this side here. X, Y. Yeah, that's fine. So, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So I will now plug this function, 9, 1/3 to the negative 2. Gives me 81. to the negative 1 gives me 27. To the 0 should be 3. Oh, 9. Look at me. To the 1, 3. There we go. I skipped a number. To the 2, 1. Okay, there we go. So we see the pattern that's happening here. Alright, so 2, 1, 1, 3, 0, 9, negative 1, 27. It's big numbers up there, but we see where the pattern's going. Alright. Okay, so a couple things to notice before we turn this page. Notice here, guys, that 0 in both cases gave us our initial value. 0 gave us our initial value in both cases, and that's going to be part of the shortcut. The other part of the shortcut is that our next step after that was a factor of our growth factor. So we have 4. Our next step is times the growth factor. 8 times the growth factor gives us 16. 9 times the growth factor, 1/3, gives us 3. Times the growth factor gives us 1. That's our shortcut. Okay, so A. The A value is the y-intercept. The B value tells you what to multiply by as you move to the right. As you move left, it tells you what to divide by. Okay, so here for these problems, our A value is 3, so it tells us to start at 3. And then it says multiply by 3 as you move to the right. So I move over to the right 1, gives me 9. Okay, as I move over to the left, it tells me what to divide by. Okay, and so there's my factor. Divide by 1/3 would be here. Okay, and so here's my exponential function. You'll notice they have the kind of the same shape each time. Okay, again, number 2, my A tells me start with 2. That's my y-intercept. As I move to the right, it tells me multiply by 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 is 1. Move to the right, it tells me multiply by 1/2. Gives me 1/2. As I move to the left, it tells me to divide by that. So 4 divided by 1/2 is 8. And so there is my function. Okay. Again, if you can't follow that shortcut, that is fine. You see that it does take a little less time, but with the calculator, it's not a whole lot less time. So if you don't understand the shortcut, go ahead and use the calculator, make your table of values. It will work just as accurately, but the shortcut does help you a little bit. Alright, so there you have it, graphing exponential functions. See ya.